My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I see them yopo.
So, me mamo akwaba at the mobile PENDREAM TV. So me pacho uba pe bon modern se uba subscribe to the channel. No one like video no na wa share video no so ama afofro answer atumi aka video bi atumi ahwebi. In fact, so we say me pepa manimu a na che say eye dum so pa na eja omanpanyin Akufo-Addo ode agm tina ama mfifiri etemesa nte ya na watemase kakra ani na enne ye betwe nkomo bi na mebo video bi dia kyerɛ mo na mesrɛ so benya abotre na watie video ni ye because video no eye video ameka na say nimdie ewom pa a very educative video a meka na say Kevin Taylor meka na say Kevin Taylor, this is one of the best shows why ewo fencing or bra Loud Silence TV so no one of the best shows and utie educative fencing program now na in fact when you be so and when you be so pa na mesre say video no so no bom modern say obe share ma fufuro ensa atumi aka bi anase wa like video no like ya eboa ma video no etimi ekọ na chipa na nsem bi mote say eye Otumfour or say tutu eko ka asem bi say eye Dr. Kwame Nkrumah our the first president of the Republic of Ghana or say papa no empe Ashantifoɔ asem. In fact, or can plain say ubia nim say Kwame Nkrumah empe Ashantifoɔ as masasemi na Kevin Taylor ni mpanyifo bi didi nkomo efa ho na owie ye no ohyeda nya botre kyerɛkyerɛ nyomam ekɔ in fact we enye na ono na adwene ene na o kyerɛ eye the history kyerɛ henti no I think say unya botre na wo hwɛ video no wia wo bɛte de meka no ase mesrɛ sɛ Ghana ha ye besre ye mpanyifo a omotifi a omohwe mo amo beye 60 years ekono aha pato ba bia wo bia no utumi ye audio e de sene ye o PENDREAM TV so ye bebo ama Ghana fo nyina ati de wonim fa ho bia asam na wo ba betie no de wonim fa ho bia no in fact bebi afrefre me na mesre se wo so wo nimdie bi efa ho a de wonim bia no o de ye WhatsApp audio efa send ye 0277128777 0277128777 o de send ya ye be publish and ye be kan ina bom ni ya publish ama Ghana for atumi atie de wo so oka aha na so wo adwen kira wonim de wo hunye de in fact wo so experience at that time enye mrantie no ene ye hwehwe said de Kevin Taylor ema ho kwan ema mpanyifo efre into the show no saa ne yesre say mpanyifo a mo so mo over 60 years wo de adwenkyere bia wonim no mesre wo say wo be sene ye saa WhatsApp audio no aha no de kyere wadwene na ye publish emfa de wo so hunye free Kwame Nkrumah penso ene die nti a ebinim fi say Kwame Nkrumah no mpa Ashantifoɔ asem ne saa nsensem ya ye Otumfour kokan ye no na ye hu nokore no na emmoa ema Ghana yentumi sanka ye humum na yentu te se nipa baakofo emma aha eti yanko na yenkohwe video no embra sisi ayi ba ye baba betoa yenkomo no so
enti aya ne yentena se ne mu se ho se did JJ Rawlings cause the 1979-80 problems? No. Before JJ Rawlings stepped into our politics, Jenana AC. Enti majority of our people who conform to your politics, no, could do 79 no jina because it was a deliberate intention to destroy Rawlings from 79. I've seen ne. Send your beya. Diana AC and Sana Rawlings because Sebibia ko kapapa nya de chere de usade. So there was something wrong before JJ Rawlings came in. I don't expect anybody here to tell me say there was nothing wrong as JJ Rawlings ever 79. They skipped 79. Into the question is DNA AC in 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 6, 7, 8, 9 and Sana JJ Rawlings ebim. I'm going to do this, and we have to do this. Mepe omodi over 60 years. Mepe nipa be 5 pe 60 years and over. those people who witnessed 75 to 1979. No, Omukwano Musa. Yes, me pe omomodi around be ye wo 1955. 1950. Let's 50 is like 70 years. Omonyini. Me pe 1955. And 1960. Omo ye wo 1960. Ye pe nipa be 5 pe they should call this line, They should tell us 1960 no. What was happening from 1960 to 1979? Maybe they also experienced some things we don't know. Now, if you calculating, you say, so what happened for J.J. Rawlings them to step in 79? Because why should I blame J.J. Rawlings? If there was nothing happening, then I can blame Rawlings. If there was nothing happening, then I can blame AFRC. But I want to know what happened before something pushed J.J. Rawlings as a young military man to say 79, I'm stepping in. I want to know. And that is the part of the story they don't want to tell us. Me pe omo ya 1955 eba. And Korano don't call. Let's allow Impedifono. Yenya we be 10 minutes. Mr. P, Mr. S. Yes, we have about 10 minutes to exactly 9 p.m. Let's give the 10 minutes to Sa Impedifo. We no one can say Kevin. Ebia before that na bibian siye. Ghana was living in a period that na bibia is smooth. Into J.J. Rawlings intervention, AFRC intervention, it wasn't needed. 1957. Let's stay at 1957. Mo na mo nie fika kra 1957 all the way to 1979. The patrol why young from 1957 do not speak. Memfre. We just want to do 10 minutes. Now should be a problem no. Hello caller.
Hello, Mr. Kelvin.
Mebacho, what did you say?
Mebacho, enya mi ankasa me do ma me old man na waka ni o ho ya dia ma.
Ma many old man kasa.
Yes. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Eja Pacho, what are you saying?
Yo, who's here?
Mebacho na unfi saying, Mebacho.
Was 67 years.
Mebacho mate. Now before 1979, DNC and some Rawlings ibem.
Na terrible. Na terrible. Na e deserve star revolution no. Was you to come back kana okoska we you could have na uniska. Unyesa ye ka kise skani ho. Alo bibia holding brabina for fostering the in my and you see the best way say role is intervention my the role is by so what you could I'm never doing and what's happening now is even worse than that time. Yeah, thank you.
Now when you hear so what's Ghana story history now man for because 1979 Rawlings by on the best say Ghana na utia ayana diena about him.
Sabra no military regime that was Supreme Military Council. Supreme NRC about Supreme Military Council.
Yeah, na make us BTO.
Even you sat down no the general ranks in the military camp, they don't respect them. Am I the dream camp? Makura new so again military so awukuru. There was no any discipline.
Eja Medase, I really appreciate your time. Medase pa. Medase, thank you. All right, so this is an old person, and also what really in Tiabesi who they see and Rawlings is stepping in. Yepesa is history no, yeteno kakra. Now, Bumenti, another person. Hello, caller.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Susan. I was born in 1960.
Okay, so you witnessed a little bit of this.
Yeah, JJ. I was
so before JJ Rawlings stepped in 79, what was really happening?
Yeah, we had a champ on Walla to Walla business. And then the JJ era.
So,
I mean, there was hunger.
Yeah, I just want to ask: were things rosary? Was everything fine? Were we living in a situation where we had to later blame Rawlings for stepping in?
No. Well, it was. That's why JJ was getting very. I mean, it was getting worse. That's why JJ stepped in. I was still a student.
Did JJ Rawlings Did he introduce farming into Ghana?
No, not really. But it was his time, though.
Okay, so he was blamed for the famine, that there isn't any food in Ghana.
Yeah, because I know Buzi at time, he seized on these provisions, and it was only a few shops who were selling it. And then so the Kalabule was in. That's when it started.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for calling. All right. Hello, caller. Hello. And you see who be a problem ni free. History now has been twisted a little bit. We need to go down. Hello, caller. Me pacho. Who am I saying?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Who am I saying, me pacho?
This is Pastor. Because I was 66.
Well, you were 66.
I was born in 1966.
Okay. Into Rawlings by 79, no, were things better? Was Anna Rawlings by no or be saying your ma? Be real with us. Just let us know what was wrong.
Very sad. Na mi akwala eton ade wo mokwa number 1. Na you not number 1. Na the country was messed up to the sense before you get soap to buy soup before you get soap to buy unless you are rich and antimony tomorrow color cheaper and go one place. This so will be that's what to do and you not get anything to buy. And I first for I created the division between the and the poor. And the poor just suffer corruption, serious corruption. And yet no man say I'm robbing. What is happening today? It have a great sleeping. Into now there was a mosque there. Corruption, hacking corruption. Mokan one. It's JJ Baheno, social. People are so that we are suffering. Even common bread when you've been taught. And then all this Ocean Osuna. I think the beauty say chaos. Also, all this, but all this original difference. It came as a singer to save the nation. One man can Ghana be more than Liberia because none of them say nah. I can't.
But
they were so corrupt.
But from the old king, from Buzi Atarabidu to Rawlings best opinion, Ebimuso no mutiasi. Almost say Rawlings by no Rawlings be say crew no cry. Unyomo because say be onya nkwana hu. Almost say Rawlings by no. Tie na Rawlings be say bibia.
Omoboa Rawlings by na yentie kura o. Na yentie kura Rawlings by na yentie Rawlings po Rawlings twi na ho. E ma liman ba na on person omo ha liman. Into Rawlings he came as a savior. Na Ghana impedifo no oma iwie sika. E ma wo Achimfo no side omo no mu kreska ba de. Buzi amo no mu wie sika omo ma. The Rawlings oba so obeji o ma no Rawlings one fight e come am Rawlings Ghana Ghana is 71 2 3 Ghana didn't be Nigeria. So into Rawlings by now I saw man I Ghana Nigeria for not permit Ghana because Buzia and not do Bush for a permit at phone call back and they took their property. Into almost so I balance Ghana and the Muslim come crew. They start Ghana goes to Ghana.
I want Ghana must go to buy no.
Very good. That was drop not Ghana she said this month not Nkrumah you I feel like famine before SC now there was a bushfire the Rawlings and Rawlings is a savior. Rawlings is a savior for Ghana. The Rawlings Bolivia he just came to save this nation. Because Kumase for Rawlings Rawlings and Bolivia Rawlings Rawlings or Accra and a general ranks and baby the money now was in Syria almost my Mrs. Mamman to Ghana. Rawlings he was a savior to the nation.
Thank you. Hello, caller. Hello. All right, my fat caller for Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
Maybe your year bang.
Good evening. Me at 65.
65.
Me at 60. Me at 59. Me new 60.
60 years.
Me who kakra.
Okay.
So it's by the friends before the bang there was a kalabule. That time brodo. Unya no ato esam the see. Just say a yedding pass unya esamato. In fact, say Rawlings by na higher din na ma minimum se mu bia de esamasia yebetwa motumba no. Mo sa no na ya na ka se wo ne Rawlings na ma madam Vietnam ne ye adwuma ono onyi na nso ne ka kire no and nti de bia me ne ka se so Rawlings dey obae yeso be kunkum krofo but the real history no ni nti me dem hu say Rawlings be obeboa ye pa anyo no a nka Liberia ti no bi kan ye no nka Ghana ebechen Liberia.
Medasi opinion, thank you very much. We mu ye mpenifo na efre mpenifo a omo be hu de sie so yan kwara na yenye din na yentie de omo ka nti adekudi ntia yes ade we person kofo hu say the history na amanfo bi chichiri maaye no we need to make sure say ye hu no kure na ewom no entina me buta say de na ma Rawlings ye de tie anani tie na Rawlings baaye and obesay nyoma. We need to hear from them. They left during that era. I wasn't there. Yeah, woman 1950. Maybe upon your own around that time. And they are the ones they have to tell us. Yeah, because it is looking like history, you know. It do 79 penny and started free day back. All right. Hello, caller. I am penny 4. Hello, caller. And then no more casa. Hello, caller.
Hello. Hello, Kevin.
Good
How are you?
Good. When were you born?
Good evening. I was born in 1970, and then I have a lot of to say because I see a lot about Rawlings when he was in charge. Even Otumfour group made a movie named Kalabule, Jami Wako, all these things to do with the bad things that was going in Ghana. So his part, he come to save us. I remember that time when we had hard for us to get a loaf of bread to eat. When you hear somebody is doing like a bread, we have to go and queue and wait for the bread to be properly cooked before we can get one to eat. So he come in to do his part. But one thing in this, we Ghanaians, we don't appreciate the good things we have. We always, especially we Akan. I'm not Akan. I'm from Kumasi. We Akan. We always try to blackmail things that is not from us. We always praise our side, but our side always come in and do the bad things. I was in Ghana year 2000. I voted for Otumfour year 2000. I voted for Otumfour 1996. But by the March, somewhere June, July, I regret voting for Otumfour simply because Otumfour convinced me that Rawlings was having too much ministers. That is 77 ministers. And the executive pay was too much. So I asked myself that time, why we are so foreign and then your executive pay were too much and you as the president, your pay is much and you have about 77 ministers. When Otumfour came to power, less than a year, I remember Kwame interview Obechebi Lamte. That was chief of staff that time. And then Obechebi Lamte, this is what the word quote. Oh, we are putting 88 ministers and we increase our pay because we want to do a better job. Then after that, a short time before he tied about Ghana, it's going to be tough. If you know it's going to be tough, why you increase your pay? Why you say 77 is too much, but you go to 88. That's where I regret voting for MPP. Ghanaians need to be clever. We don't vote for one political party. MPP is not like Master Sadkot or Hardships. We need to change. When they come in, they said what they are going to do, and they can't do. We need to vote against them. You make them making money. They are making money, and you are sitting there suffering. Even you can't get money to buy a bread to eat. And you are voting for somebody to make themselves rich.
I appreciate
this is bad. We need to change.
Thank you very much for that.
We need to change. It's very bad.
All right. So these are real older people trying to talk. We are listening to history today. Hello, caller.
Yep.
Bepacho, yeah, baby.
Yeah, woman, 64.
1964. Ghana history, and they are starting a Ghana history, especially in politics. You're starting from 1979. And JJ Rawlings, and NDC4, PNDC4, AFRC. But yan step back kakra, yabesi busa, DNMA JJ Rawlings nene soldier for maka a year coup say at this point. Because I say, Kotokama buy, a champion buy, Bebre buy, but yan can once inti Jane,
Mammy Castle free, Mammy Castle free, a champion, every corner end, and son of Kufu.
Okay.
And the name was secondary school and the Mikaipa.
Yeah.
Na Yakaisa a kufu by and Obesisan Scano 10 cities no. Obesisan Mikaipa Nami Wokoforidia. Scano Kura Wunyabi. Just a obi akwaji Scano no the Abreu. Not just a wounds what's here to Yabiaman. Eti Akoya say, Unsa na Kingsway any UTC or any a essential commodities. Like sardine, tinapa, mikaipa, ni ekoto. Ubekwa ko sunlight. Na adene ba eba giantis no na mpanimfo na sesa akoma mokola man. Nti ubekwa no sardine ba ko pe e na dan table so. Mokola ho no. Mokola number 1 baby ya no Rawlings Park si ya. Ubekwa no the sardine ba ko ato ho. Ubeka se ba ko pe no oton. Eti se uto ade no 1 cedi no. Or no turn 2 cedi 50 pesos. And no because now say soldier for penny for no more ranks, big ranks. Or more enana edini man or mu hwam edini man koma mokola man. Eti ebeba soldier for nkitwani bufu ye. So beka ya it was 15th May and Rawlings epeja ne ho. Omo che no. Eti omo che no. Ena boachi jamu ekoye sa June 4th no omukofa Rawlings me kaipa hasada na ma be fie mi ba weekend me gani afri school aba weekend e wa Accra me fikofori aba eti Monday anopa no a mi tu America ko school no ena yehu sa soldier for the peace go anya ade nenam krom cheso mu ba ya ye bebubu mokola ho eniema no omde asie no amon person
o yiri nyina ba abontene so bia metobi
o mu yi ba say ene soldier for ne ba no ma boni don komi ye salaya u school ni nkakra be nya na de ko school obi a onu so ko use ofie no o de akọ ene ma yebubu Rawlings yebubu mokola number 1 ya sisi a omo build ya omo say Rawlings Park eti emu no it was just 3 months and omo call back soldier for no call balance and omo sande ade ne ma remand eti emu no na sa ya kan party eni nam ho anka omo pese omo ye remand bibi eti yete ye na remand enso Rawlings abetu no 81 December 31st December eno kura ni ekohwe mu an ya katapori na ye ku no and I know ohia good leader and okofa Rawlings and odine buy e muho and afofia antoata 82 ko the end no eja sisi Ghana baby eja esi baby eti na disa 83 kom ne buy no se wo 83 kom no a sa kom no eja sisi Ghana baby o ka say anse oboa baby sisi ene mua sabre na suna enkofo no alatafo ne pamu ye enkofo ne ba na je say I say ya bo ni akato anu se mensu eja himi krom nyina enu ni asa apam mahoho nyina so afiri de ben afiri mi krom memba afiri amamfo so asen aba eti obi ka say jeje de obi besi yenya enimu no de yetino so ani asori ono this stability kura ba ekuro we sata it seems I get the best
inti adentina
yoku asosi leader
dabi ayedentina still ye nipa ko bi Ghana ka say ye can Ghana politics JJ Rawlings do I Ghana Juma with di Bonia with di DNT now dream say Sibia Okasano Sebio Yen Ghana for o kasa say we Asantini ba pa just o ya kaniba
me ya Asantini am free Asante be
DNT na me ka say NDC JJ yeah
Yesuba na ahomete say oya so ya munani nti so sedianyo because so we had niama omu krom yes sa cruise no o ma no mu din semoni se na ebu achija na lead sa 79 cool eniama bebre bu achija mu na take here enso bibia ya say Rawlings minim se wakan sa ensa na yede nkofo ni call parent squad no e wo tachi ho na ebra omu kofa free fa kan ho Rawlings osunye minim se wakan sa book na osun ye se enkonka ho ba wuja fumu ne kofa ne be kan ho enso so onsa kan ni no de yembo ni din o kan ni no yembo ni din
Opeyin melase I'm happy say I get people like you listening to me every day and I want an person with my privilege you know
dem adwuma wo ye ne de nyame na be ma wo akatua now so di in cofo ya chipa de anka beja adwuma no mpoye ba nyame ebe ma wakatua esombo
but that's it Yami Shrao thank you very much all right hello caller hello all right mamenfa another caller hello caller
hello good evening
me pacho yawo year
pacho 1964
Jenia young we that time no ya be beto ye ne say Rawlings ebe ye coup na wu coup na obeye ye no amwa Ghana ono na sebio obedi bone power Ghana wo na wo ne ya wo sambre no before bibi na be ma Rawlings ene ni group aye coup edien ni see ye a wangasa ufe mu a wo ni say Rawlings na nka so mo ye coup na say ni senkom ye ebia na nyoma ye ena Rawlings mo be say no
before then, I was secondary school. Before then, then they were very horrible, very, very horrible. Even provision square the school, no, because a line with ID card. The amount more clear amount vegetable, there was no conditional sales. Even mechanical bakupa, excuse me, go film again. No, George. When you go to do the carpenter for shavings. I savings every capital when you check it after 79 kuna ngofo ye hold and no mo bebre no and the ma Rawlings ye house to house search into what hold and your money the no money ban abon dongo mi no bia nya bi after that na no mo be liberalize then there we you gate and plan we America utumetobi we ye se utumetobi open dokuna kenke ye to dokuna that time no ye no dokuno no no akoto no ye nya no ai no no akoto na hono no de abon fie no abenoa because then no moment very hard no moment can say the three Rawlings ma e come oboa there were bush fires now was dryness the bush fires no and then mfu nyina hyehye mfu hyehye so na e wo shagare too Ghana for home no fi Nigeria by population may increase te de anika kai ho no nipa bebre na HSA de anedi na ma ta akom by na bi so say after that no so to 1984 eduane bebu ya am na paper yenya bibe fa bingo it Rawlings amfa ekombia amba bush fires na 13 nyina no but minka wenka ho say ntiru kra amafo du baby o maka say Rawlings and the cover with there because nipa no aye kalabule wa holding the man no and auto winya ni sika profit sharing into aye say ni nipa no be break is ade no ehwo yaw na ehwo ehi na emai ye wo is a mission in secondary school anya me the to now into do baby no kra no ko no nyoma ekoda no voluntary ya makoya me ko volunteerism for supporting Rawlings ya Caribbean I didn't know that time na anya me ya enti omo mo kasa no nyina no e ya ho ya papa no na beji Ghana si ho a e ma sesi ano nyoma stabilizer anko ye nei ya go fan ko fo be be si ya ya ye hu be bia enfan fai enti an Kevin obi obekese bia no obwa
me da se nyame hiraw we impenifo ne yeti omo anytime say ye ne nkora no ye nyabotre ye ngina back ne ye ntie ye na ma Rawlings and any group e imagine say omo be step in 79 bibi na see hello caller.
Hello.
Me bacho yewo yeah. Hello.
Yeah, woman 68.
1968. Okay.
68.
68. If I told you kakra, na nyoma mu edda ho. Rawlings mobile no mo be say nyoma. Ye pese ehu. Ye ne enwo ye. Nti mu na mu fe mu. Na nyoma mu tesen. Ebia na nyoma ko yi.
Yo, Satam na me wo Aswase Kumase. Na me wo Aswase Kumase. Sisi amene wo kasai. Me da ete Aswase sisi a na me kasai. Na Satam no. Hello.
Yetio, obi etio, kasamitio.
Aha. Na many efi because manya 10, 11 years kakra.
Okay.
Enti Satam no. Ope even a citri edi aguko komwa gise uti se kano abesia na munyina masal wa wuntimi ntomienu wo beto akope se wuni wunua mo epese munya asitri ebia box no mienu a gise o papa disikama obia baako ansa no akosalai ameyenya asitri no box mienu satam no na eye crib one no
eno one na box bi no
samana samana atwa gise eno so ehun lai mekai me papa enuama ye born don komi wo ton fishing net ewo alaba asemu amiken ye born don komi enti na me papa beginning no na won pe jeje asem but etire ono na be ye the best fan of JJ because mekai ye vegetarian mekai se wo ba ye krom one day bi wo ba ye no wiase no me papa on na JJ Rawlings no pe JJ asempa no say that time a wo yes ade no na omunim se na wo pe oman ni yie eno nti no yes a na nso eko wiase no omo ehu se de wo ye no eye enti saa nuama no na aha ye nuano mu dodo na ye wo Ashanti region eno any omo main problem na dodo na nkasa no omo ambeto but yes and omodia ye adwuma saa bepem ne eno any omo main problem enti bibie ni ho a eye nuama eye ade a jeje eba ya wo beto se wasei no saa time no na oman no asei dada ansa na jeje wo ba no abe ni enti na wo hwa
Medase, thank you very much. Hello caller. Yeah, saying can be short, but it looks like saying penny for no one some can't be brave. And these are very important things. Hello caller.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, good evening.
No, lower TV.
Okay. Hello. Yeah, woman 1966.
1966. All right.
Yeah.
There be a history no ye kan ho asema na ni pe bi say Rawlings ni papa on na ebe say Ghana obebo Ghana for say bi ominu na Asante for say ma me bi say Rawlings bebo on papa nom ye be say ehu mo na mutena na nyoma mu eye na Rawlings mo be ye ku no say nyoma na pacho wo de my de wo su hu ye
Kevin wonim bibi nia menu ya no mo frɛ yo mo kanyina ye. But the problem one ankasa na emesa manfo amese wo. Time Rawlings buy no. Unfortunately for Rawlings no. Na enkrofo na omo wo system no mo koso some mess thing happen to the aka. Enti na me kato e preme na Asante. Enkrofo ni nyina happen to be akamfo. They happen to be akamfo. Sa ya na me pese me body ba ma me ntire we unim sian tata
tata bas
sound tata that time no ye ma an cheat unim ze that time no na ye ma cheat and then wait me import to be abagana inti ono pen na ikuta import it na o import sugar for breweries no into import sugar ne ba quantities na also the my breweries no amom ketu bi no smoking kind na ba market into anu say Tama Rawlings be we no say ne awde ba market dodo ni nyina no wa do de aban ti fabra ye hwe interest ani yes wa de say oni ama wa sizi san wa yes e hona sa ne ama ni nyina firi o enna afi nso so no nyinti ameka say mess ni nyina no okọ market ya ene nyina entoma nipa dodo etontoma ya akamfo nipa dodo a wonu big shop nyina ya akamfo me ameka say me yakani I have nothing against akamfo what you say but baby I want no Rawlings ni free na wo baniti no there
was targeted at a tribe
oh yeah I beni on back akamfo asam so nenya sana na de ne tie kura so me esi na me okoko memre o the France da ona na metia so enti niama e course ni nyina no sanka o ma ngu ne se Rawlings etan wo mo Rawlings Kevin ma me fa we from fa ne se o wa sorry them na Otumfour pretty na what you want now say pretty we the Kevin ba sorry anka ye ni preaching pa Kevin so anka sorry nti wa wo ti sorry dem wo no wo say preaching na ye wo wasam ne ye ka so wo say papa ne ba say obe correct system no ne mumu ne obe ta get account for ene nyina ye beto aba no makofa Rawlings kele o makofa we aba na sa Nkrumah we no de edu ba bia na ye no mukura no ye sefiri won na ha den suwan ni ma bi sugar kura wunya bi dokono kura no ye say ya ye den wo to dokono kono awo fi ye
medase openye medase
inti me matama Rawlings ba ye no okay yo medase
thank you very much me try say be for enough ne ya call show so hello caller. Hello. Yes. Impenifo Efre inti ayana edin say impenifo fra. You actually ignore their calls. Anything I see but these are very important things. I also say be edi hun komo. Hello caller. We impenifo na Efre. You first respect na ni di man impenifo no. Bo ha insem na hwemu mu ache. Omo pese omo yehu no kure no. Ba ya na ye ma ye ho kwan e ma sa anyoma ni nsi. Inti yenya omonda. We need to give them a lot of time to tell us what actually happened. Send be betumi atoto enne de no ho. Hello, caller. Open your patch for saying.
Patch from Eddie. This will be a call.
Now, you year bang
1961.
1961. Can the own tray?
Okay, Tama Rawlings by now at some point time in the day. Now, Yamiadum, that a whole year was 1975. At some point time now. Commissioner for Agriculture Robert Commissioner Kote Kote your operation feed yourself maybe any by trade fair if you any buy matches a bunch in the case but after a coup for General Kufu mu ye Palace School mu friend Palace School mu to a champ also that was SMC2 SMC2 by na fe nyama be say because a champ point na nyama ye dey but after operation feed yourself but things became so difficult say even Kwame city golf be near a friend of our two bedroom golf those days you know a man mostly man they do baby soldier phone omo yiru kwan bu omo because you know men most of them say those days na soldier you soldier omo ko soldier ne university phone call na post for but after Rawlings time no this sanity by military you know no and na fe nyama be better first say mokola we are police ni we are soldier ni o ko tade o mokola and a prayer no ye de prefie no and toma no ma twitwa ne ketekete no mo ne achiche prayer no nti se wo beto toma na we yi sa prayer no we yi sa prayer ne ya chew ne bo na we are soldier na police men say uniform fan ko edwom enko tade o ko bisa ade na se wo sent so na ma no dwunso ma dwunso wo yi container milo container e be di 2-3 days so any police man show do was and be fie go so and them Tama Rawlings ye cool so ya for ni bree holding because na mokola can they see shops in be bree o ma hodu nyama ni tese nyama ni kura ni be bu shop no dey be kura last sardine tinapa if I na Ghana din tese na earlier callers in Dokono, at some point, I go for time, Dokono, white one, yellow corn. No, a soldier phone, and the sender normally be Gina, vantage, book, and she, now you are so line near Quakoto. Yellow corn, Yedema, a pottery farms, do you know Yedi? Oh, cigarette to cry, one stick of cigarette, now for so light, and send away your beat. Right, before Rawlings back when university, school, friends from and call university straight. There's some going national service 1 year, and some work university. And then is the 7th time they introduce national service between 6th form to university 1 year. Oh, it is before Rawlings back, not thing. Students you call strike, teachers you call strike, workers in Yama, and them the JJ coup May 15th no yet no. And only young guys be 15. Na JJ Nkrumah flight left from Mama corporal, lance corporal, Nina Maniaman, the HM you don't call tribunal, military tribunal. And I JJ Bisanos leave all my men alone for I'm responsible for everything. I want a JJ. I'm not for so you're very, very influential. In the whole of students almost strike university for they say JJ do something before you die. And now, but jamu here 4th June there now. Omoko release Rawlings because someone say no. Akwani here very when you popular. Into omoko releasing on be lead the omo. And the lead the omo. Into JJ ni there. A come back Ghana and JJ it was a natural disaster like bush farm. In fact, in the farming areas it was very terrible. Those days, in Jamu introduced ban class, would drive and 2 pieces of cigarette in trench because sometimes it catches fire because during the Hamatan season, most of the bushes, are dried up.
Thank you very much. Until we are beginning to see Akatapori, Bwachijan. These 2 people were basically the people Anomudi BBNim. JJ was just charismatic. And his face was easy to recognize. So his face was he was the poster boy. But omo muye ku na nkasa na omo ye damage no. I see omo na omo beye bibia no Akatapori eni Bwachijan. Okay, let's see something here. Hello caller. Mamenfa last caller impenifu Mr. Mo. You want some also hello caller.
Hello, Kevin.
Yes sir.
Majo
Bache wo ye ben.
1956.
That is very good. A year before independence.
Yeah.
Yeah, can Ghana history and for Ghana for encourage JSS book pe history ni na ya ka kakra bia ni started from 1979 and a JJ Rawlings and a revolution and a NDC4 PNDC4 one out from 1956 before yebeji independence ababedru in 2024. JJ Rawlings mo ansa na almost stepping in a champion by kufumo ba any ade dia omo beye ye no na ehia so beye na se na ehu hia eno na be ma nyomemu aye din.
Okay. Sene min ko Nkrumah de mi hu kakra.
Yeah.
Na sa ta ni di sika no. Ya kapra ne ye ayi abroche sika kapra ne abom tukuru. Eno na ni di. Na wo mo di betu Nkrumah efiri so. Na kutukanu bae. The kutukanu bae na wo mo hand over the mabuzi and that time the Ghana population is 4 million people. That time no. At of market to cry no who na yuram. Ufri kejetia eko bantma e yuram kwa esrem kwa. Na efri sabre ne bana na fe nipa no eniema mu eyedin. Nsomba ye na no be se kano. Ombe sika no. Kana video said yesiko enti ekodru brebia na a tampon time or tampon be start here hona ade ni start pa ye a tampon be ade no na insuon to for so many years insuon to kra okay koka a tampon si wonyin or na tampon abrofo ya di wo mo kado yetia into ono ni yefen yetia endi abrofo no so ejai se omo be ma ye niam na so mbeto ye kokoo no mo nto ye bibia nkwa abrochire emu na champion the best see provision feed yourself because provision to be every baby
support to be amba he was forced to
say you go ye timba nko ye bibia nko nti as I say avede operation feed yourself or the fam because they come attacking ba nti edu brebia na afede or the two million individuals say bia obetimi ewuro bia wo mo sika no na omko other countries like Togo Abidjan Burkina na makokema hono na small group ya ye kan no
start here so monopoly ni start wo ho no
endi ewura mo ha na fe on na kwata maba ye open odije enema no so no ensan so nipa no so ewo adam se ye no normal zone so ye endi no edru bata ade a wo wo sika na wonya bito ediane so a ebi ne manum wo sika na wonya bito edidi mu ama afedie soja police mu afedie ebuo ni wo mo so biem nti se soja ni kwa abonten na o hye soja atare so kotade ye dia ene eburo obefa no kwa Johnson ye hwegu wo mo nti na bata sabre no no num se ayi Rawlings no ono ne ayi akufu bodyguard no akufu na ayi Rawlings na guide akufu nti akufu no ene e tampon ba ene akufu no eye internal coup no odi tu e tampon and odi tu e tampon no ene Rawlings hu se di ko di afedi ade no na sei ubeto semina wunya binto nti akire no na akoba se afedi tumi no akodidi Nkrumah a wo mu sika nsem ene wo mutimi di krakra ne maba omba ye de bi kogu GNTC UTC UAC Santos ne individuals na wo mu fi se wo mu ewo mu sika ene gugum uko dwom na akopentuma atwa ti so yi praye na ahoma ayi what you su amount cigarette ezo a ezo su wunya bi ento eba na o mati tabuka matikafo no na o mo de ko na o makoton abid ba sa na champa yi Rawlings who said no the way are there no fire because in see on top you don't see no abrafo yi niema bibia manum ewia bo eje ti adade na Rawlings di be ye coup no ye coup me no no asosidi the second type na Boachijan enum ko ye coup ko yi Rawlings free prison and in ba out and o mo se sadia Rawlings me lead no belly die and the mona Rawlings who said there be here na nkata na tell that and the time here there any obia wa hodo ne ma bia yebeji ni aba beton na manfo so anya bi eno na de supermarket buy tabre na be there okoda atise salad bi o ha ye bowura ofie ni etachi oni eji oni ma ni aton eni e wonam krom na otiri yankopie bi so a no anya bi ato enji ehonu ana ma soldiers no so bufu hu se ekwanya civilians no di wo mafa so pen no eni wo motam abade ani wo pia civilian for so ka enu ne kofa molestation no e de bae engineer makolojom central market tamalejom ni nyina na mo bawuram because e hona na wo mo kwa ni e motiti wo mo enji wo stores nyina enji tane tia dia ye bo ko bubu ani eno ko kan sa ni mani na bom na Rawlings ni tira nyeye enna ekom no kasie no ebe yi ni ti ewo na breso ekom no bada aduani ni ho efuo ni ho ye hihye yayi insuo to na de enwanwa kra ne say June 4 ya omo ye Boachijan mu ye kuko yi Rawlings no insuo to more than 3-4 days obia no wo Ghana bia that time owu ya woni insuo toy na so di amanfo hu say yes afi ne yankopon atiati enum ena ma students no eko frɛ no JJ junior Jesus because insuo na wai ade di na ono nko aba na dia afedi insuo asatia insuo to eno na ma students ni Legon any tech for ebodi na chi sana tie dia ene papa ebebo ni chidom wati na baboa o man no ndi ho no ena Rawlings started first and tie dia oni abrofo no be baako ye ko a enko no o se ni nyina ekọ God so good me start na me kono to Kepa hospital ne o di se ni ati ba ne skeleton wo mutimi nya adwuma bia wo enti ho ene ene take fo no ekọ ekampo ai ho na obre aduane ono na odi insuo ni bibi abre na anopa no ye de students no akukọ wuram like boma ene Nkrumah ti ho go sunum se de be ya kokoo a ehye ewuram nyina no ombe kiamba kurom na kat etimidia betna kotema akwan nyina nye eduru ba bia wo bedu no ti se insuo taako amisi ebudua na bia kwoti insuo num ahwese ka betuma famu ana edie bia ye wo hwa obehene Rawlings abo awura ho okọ ba bia onkra bohu fra kopẹ na opie no aba no abeboa kokoo wo no ankata so so kokoo ni bi na akwan nyina sai no trade onu ne begina ye ebe ye sa na ema we nyina antana kokoo etimi fra Ashantis region etimi batema antana etimi disa we ni nyina akọ enti enum ene didi mu kakra ama afede abro bagi ye ya afede de be ni se greatio entumu afede ne biba kakra biba ni nyina no tela na sa system na wo mani ama wo mo la enu na na wadum pese wo mo tade ba enti bonzo wo mo mpere no because the woman ni pa ba ko pattern system eye se de open na obe ya betan ko yaki ale bule no ehwa ede betan ba enti da wo hwa Rawlings no enam sa ne ma na Rawlings be ye no ya etimi sa de be gina so no na obi asabi mprediasa o ti ho a o ye kalabule ehunu se wo ni sika mpempem ni paka bi na ka kodi wo mo nsam sa nkrofo ni sika ni nyina edi nipa no ompe wo ma se o mo mpe na sem edi eye nipa dudu no o mo di cha no e de ko sa e ma Rawlings ho o ye tan edi no o mo ya
me wo question
o mo profa na de bia no no mo kan se e wo ma so
we dey me wo question aden nsa we nyina wo na for years yenya abotre ema Ghana for ntiase yen start free echire o start free Nkrumah time a de femu a de ababedu 1979 etwem 82 83 abedu 92 aden ntina ye wo colleagues ye wo nipa omoso omo ye wo age group ye wo the same time a de wo kan omo nyina hu bi enti die na bema nipa bi atena ho aka se JJ Rawlings ne AFRC to PNDC no omo ye nipa bonefo die na bema nipa bi akasa
die bema nipa na akasa ne se oya efri Nkrumah breso kama Nkrumah yes Nkrumah ebaye no matime ho fo no omo ampe Nkrumah asem sa nkrofo no so omo wa no eno na mre bi ya na wota kan Rawlings ka wo matem sa na omo tie on that make us a Ghana population budget am near 4 million the whole Ghana the first census me kai pa 4 million and you know o hwete matim ho fo no ewo edom chen Nkrumah no and you know say e kroba kuma me van say me ma kroba ko for example a quote it say ahoma so e wa Ashanti region the whole ayi ahoma so fo ni nyina ye ayi matim ho fo nko a
yeah
and that time no TPP any matim ho fo no omo ntimi ntina mbom te say nei and is a woka say we TPP ye hu say we matim ho ni ana TPP ni a matim ho fo no eso am hu gu kam ni omo profu froso no omo pa attack wo me kai pa say that member papa ni ya kanu tu wuram me na nam dia aduane ko man wo wuram
na papa ya
engineer du be
ama nipa bi e kanu tu wuram say saying
dia me cho ne say ene de fi ani mat ene umu dan di MPP mitina bi ba ku person entita matim ho fo no e kuro ba ku mu a e kuro no mu nipa nyina ya matim ho fo e kuro ba ku mu a e mu nipa nyina ya TPP fo and you know dimi free krom ekokro fofo squad to aboma Nkrumah din and this the city before no who say
Martin Otumfour no stay in Nkrumah India. As you go, no almost one organizer almost have an adjutant. So, and when they did one here, at times, a month for me, and the baby is Ashanti region, is a Martin Otumfour one of Ashanti region. And you know, so won me banner, that's a woman who ye, CPC near, Namimi Martin Munia, Mayor Day, and a Matini, and Watina. Because then, no matter time, now you could swear you be say, overpower party. Overpower party, but only more, no more, no more, or Martin Otumfour or your mom to see it before your mom motto. Due to that in Indian, and ma, so on in a batty here, not on a banner, CPP, no, near Martin Huni, a Quabia sport and no Kennedy never. And when I Rawlings buyer, or not soon over follow and Nkrumah steps, and in the cry a Ghana. No can hear new Nkrumah baby. I Rawlings the time, and I know a trust or Ghana. On the Sabre also, no, any panel no to you know any horror. And memory, ya, you not also some for ya, no almost say or moment. Said ya on the time and this for Rawlings and the Jim one at the other two Sabre. So, and this a time of any say in the oh, said the Omedi Aya Mahama, the Omedi from Manan, Omedi Mahama. Because Nkrumah, you're printing black. Why are the papa? You're printing black. Why can they did one and a mama and who be a near or ministry or a cambo more or mutu Nkrumah. And you want to money and now very answer your own. Said the extra party a dear man, if your own papa pencil a Dubai. If your own pencil a year, or my book on through or mutiki. I think who for one plum papa, and when they do money in your casino. And he said, "You're Rawlings in a buyer, a tampon time, it will be crab by near Freno, a tampon, over Ubita, or more anymore.
A jump on fee, Mesumber to be.
Yes, a tampon time they buy. A tampon time, Cronon and Bebe, and Mebe buy ya. Ye Udia Bantia, no Marco Trans, no more Bantinina, no Mateo Funo, a tampon time. Because then she talk, a Janino, Vivian. And he said, and yet, a Rawlings in a buy cry, and the baby said, Sumeria for ya, to say, Womuti on Comcran or my chair. Because we young children, who can in Banjo Crow Cotia, not done poison. So, Banjo Cotia, not done poison. But yet you are nobody. And the Rawlings to buy and who said, no, then if you are just a cana or honor, and yet, Obia Benya Binian and I had survival of him say, Yami Bayadum. And when I did Kanyama winning in our buy, it's not like near Galena because that time, Galenia PA, it's Casino, near the tongue. Who do need to cut? As you may be a new, better than why. And the on mine is saying, every Widia, and no more pencil, everybody a tampon. And a mad in our fire, in a man runs book. The Rawlings the moment a buyer, or Timber G, or Manity, or Debra. Rawlings as 14, Emma, a marble of G, a tomb, a man near my Kwame, and near my buy inside, you know. And you come out for starting and if buy a grab a joke. And yet, yeah, you see, anchor in the region and a buy. Now,
I'm sure we really appreciate the history. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's thank you very much. The Siano on say the history you have been learning in Yinano. A man for be a manipulating history, no. And I mean, sure say 90% of youth now young people near home after 80s and you are like now in some night you know the actual book are different from the yeti on the ground. So on say I feel baby sound say now I say a man for be Eddie Hamo. Papa ne kasa no also kan ya besi mateme ho o kan ya besi se nipa bi na omompe eyedien omompe Nkrumah asem na eno na didi mu aba bedu Rawlings time enti no matter the Rawlings baye no na nipa bi ani nso na ba besi eyedien and then after my NDC. On say Sebio Metiano, Mementain tribe bia. Minino Asantimemu, and internet today, Nyamia Duminti, Bitumikasa, Asante Kasa, na Sebio Nipa Dono, Etsotimenka. On say, Obetu history, na opapanum, and cano cran chrawa, na so mudi siwa. E ma wo so no Sebio adwene wo say, ebia de wo so wo ka no e no kre. And sometimes you don't blame people like that. You don't blame people who have been misled, misinformed or disinformed. But I was saying nipa no so omoma mo ho kwan na ye nyina so ye kire de ebia na omodwen say ye no kra enye no kre. The moment we are able to do that, we will be able to build the nation. Yete Ghana ha, we ahemfo akese obo Ghana. Obi dis Otumfour said it too. Me bu nipa me respect no. Onyo hene ketwa. Ya wa ahemfo akese wo Ghana, we have to respect them. Ya expect say nka ahemfo no, ebi omo nkwara abrem no, eye amamre ne amanne no, ebi nipa bi so misinform omo. Nipa bi so ede sebio omo personal interest and a creative history too. Sebio yempenifo ni bitrim. In China, sometimes, obi person blame a certain tribe deep down. I know sometimes we don't have to blame what we are seeing. We need to step back. I was say you quite shiri. Now, if you say, I will say, a day and nipa kubi wa adwene bi say, Nkrumah kura non pass anti-fasam. And that is where the problem is. And you say, oh, he can say to say Otumfour say to Enya akwenya. Na se Otumfour kasa obedwom. Na se obiena no kase. Kwame Nkrumah non pass anti-fasam. Hadwene. And I don't blame Otumfour because Otumfour so nyini frifie. Onse na papa ne ka no, o say oba edumre bia ye obi nkofo e from matem hofo and ye won nkofo so me CPP for. So that tension was created even before Otumfour Kwame was born. Ana Otumfour Mame was in that system. Ana Otumfour papanom, me papanom, ye nananom. So they all grew up in that system. And it's a notice Otumfour eka say Kwame Nkrumah kura non pass antifo asema. You ask yourself say na the majority of things are Kwame Nkrumah ye wo Ghana no e was antimemu. Because Kwame Nkrumah be a factory to antimemu. Komfo anochi ne suor Kwame Nkrumah. Kumasi tech yes we e Kwame Nkrumah. Ade bia esomwa sebio ebie asantifo ani dodo no e Kwame Nkrumah na eye. Indi say obi de say Otumfour say to tena bedwom. Now, because Kwame Nkrumah kura or tire santifo a problem, and these are some of the things we need to address. Intuition video be say, na so Otumfour kasa, na otimi can boldly say, Kwame Nkrumah tire santifo. Young man to 7 no, ana e di mam se metiasie. I need to step back. Na me ko tie free chire, e say the papa yi onya abotre chechire no. Na fe me betiasie say, sebio Otumfour said to was he misled? And I say obiso ede ni pain ene ni selfish interest be ene mislead Otumfour ana.
Kwame Nkrumah no one pias and broadcast. Jean. Kwame Nkrumah no one pias and broadcast. Jean.
Si samre no Kwame Nkrumah obi anim se no one pias mpo o kan say.
Kwame Nkrumah no one pias and broadcast.
Jean. Si samre no Kwame Nkrumah obi anim se no one pias mpo o kan say.
Kwame Nkrumah no one pias and broadcast.
Jean. Si samre no Kwame Nkrumah obi anim se no one pias mpo o kan say.
Kwame Nkrumah no one pias and broadcast.
Jean. Si samre no Kwame Nkrumah obi anim se no one pias mpo o kan say.
Obia ben nipa ben enenim se Kwame Nkrumah empe asantifo asem. This is not a kind of history I rija yenchirima. Wana mo na se Kwame Nkrumah na ompe asem e hwan na kan e na Kwame Nkrumah yeti akamfo titiru asantifo a e ma Kwame Nkrumah pa asantifo asem. Me mentan Otumfour me dono me no fa no bi hia ne bebia mebu mumu ama no nanso amamre ene amane ene abekwasem yemfa nipa bia ebia omo interest enchechire esa na esai nchirimba se Otumfour said to be gina bedwuma ka se Kwame Nkrumah no mpe yasem. Kwame Nkrumah, so we check the history of Kwame Nkrumah. Ade oya Ghana nyina 80% kwa santimemu. Debi Otumfour tukura was misled. Otumfour is a leader of Nipadom. In this Otumfour tena bedwom kasa asem where it cuts deep. It cuts deep because a say a ye or minor I was saying in a dream paddy. Because Kwame Nkrumah in 1956, I'm a kind history chair say in Parliament or British Parliament, nipa omuchirokoma British forecast omo pese omo te omo ho no na Kwame Nkrumah etia sa de na eye Ashanti Council. Ba Kwame Nkrumah ka kire Queen ni say bibia yedu no eni say eye sa e wo say ka Ghana ni nyina obom. Enti ebia eho na nipa bi nya adwene say Kwame Nkrumah was opposed to the making sure Ashanti Council for idea omo fa say Matime ho yanti omo free Ghana mu Kwame Nkrumah was opposed to it nti e ma nipa bi ka kire omo nananom say Kwame Nkrumah pa Asantefo asem ebia eho e no Otumfour sua sa history ni free e sebio minima Asante amamre ne amane enchen Otumfour say tutu then so Ghana history there at least ye nyina ye kan kakra so ebia Otumfour is basing that ebia nipa oka sa asem ne che Otumfour no eno na ogina so ka kire Otumfour ne nkwara brem say muni bibi Kwame Nkrumah otanye every say ya waka kire English ohema ne say yane ye mpese beka Ghana ho ye frɛ ya te ye hofo ɛna Kwame Nkrumah ka say dabi Ghana no bebia ye duru pempenso ye du no ye di dwuma bom ye di nsawoso ye di awo mfrafra aware mfrafra ɛwɔ sɛ ye tumi kikire man ne sɛ nipa baako enti saade na Kwame Nkrumah ka kire Britain for so omunjina so na omumfa maye fa hodie no nipa bi ambo anto mo boso ye enti almost static free sambre ne say Kwame Nkrumah tan Asante. That is where it's coming from. Last me be kind show and I'm posti the British Parliament proceedings document and records Emma Abrofono air kind of parliament say the Queen did not agree to that thing that they put together. Enti say o check the National Liberation the movement party Otumfour or say to SN wo for £700 etiena. So who read the history about NLM? These are some of the things you see. In this okay NLM's history, you see said the National Liberation Movement was a Ghanaian political party formed in 1954. Our independence was 1957. 1956 British Parliament, they were discussing and I know Abrofonica say Queen is on the dear Ghana no on obiantino or the Ghana nyina be Ghana for as Gold Coast. But 1954 near 10 no na NLM and Ashanti Council for say yati a party in kwade ye hia ye kro. It is already Omankasa Bayo now set up by the disaffected TA. Almost said the National Liberation Movement was a Ghanaian political party formed in 1954, set up by disaffected Ashanti members of the Convention People's Party, who were joined by Kofi Ebrifa Busia. The NLM opposed the process of centralization while supporting a continuing role for the traditional leadership. Nipa kubia na omo join Kwame Nkrumah CPP na omo ye Asantefo no. Na Busia ene Ekufuado UGM UG4 UP4 Ekufuado ne nananom na omo ti omo free Kwame Nkrumah no. Sa nipa na omo CPP mu a omo ye Asantefo omo ti omo ho no. Omo no ko ti NLM. Sa NLM no nipa na otie na eye Otumfour say tutu. De ochia mepanyini a na ye frɛ no Asanteman chia mepanyini frɛ no baafo akoto. Omo enete NLM no inti so study a NLM no baafo akoto na yo chia me wo menhia no omo te party ni wo menhia eni nti Otumfour ka say ne wo fa baafo akoto na yi £700 inti menhia na te ne political party so menhia felt ana Asante felt to say yeni ye wo CPP mu a yate ye ho no e wo say British fo no ema yate ye ho te ye kuro ye nye ready say ne Kwame Nkrumah akokyekere Ghana na uhu dynamics no in the sabu study a omo na omo ne Kwame Nkrumah enya adwene say Ghana na abrofo no de be man no e wo say ode ye nyina bomba akoye ne Gold Coast omo na omo ne Kwame Nkrumah nya adwene say e wo say Ghana country ba ko no in the san nipakuo no a omo free CPP Kwame Nkrumah CPP mu a omo ti NLM no omo na omo ne Ashanti Council menhia actual letter call English say yempese ye beka Ghana ho eno ne didim ema nipa bi eto omo tirim ka say Kwame Nkrumah endo Asante. In this already Omankasa history now, this is what it says. It was led by Bafuakoto, linguist to the Asantehene. Samre no de no dia Asantehene no. Ono ne chiame ene ti eye NLM. So called British document in Musumwa Parliament no British forecast said NLM ni Asanteman Council any sirimu foka krebi na omo say omo de omo mpene. Mema Ghana yenye ni kuro. Mema British for no enjoy ya pedie maye. So British for meye sadia omo nti omo nko ade ma omo. It is already the party gained some support in the Gold Coast legislative election in 1956 and became the third largest party in the assembly with 12 seats behind the Convention People Party and the Northeast People's Party. At the end of the day, no Queen Nantia na Okase Ghana and Kwame Nkrumah should lead for a new Ghana, new Gold Coast. A parliament was formed. Inti saa nipa kura no mo CPP mo ti omo ho asebio dodo ne asantefo no, they later contested and became the second strongest people in parliament. Eno na didim eno na ananti musa ba bedru hande. Into that history no, that misinformation no, that history some people created out of pain and pittiness, because si apese ate ho na se Kwame Nkrumah say dabi ye ne CPP for no ye say dabi ye nyina ye kan humoma, you be aggrieved, you be angry ebeye wo ya, because there was a motive a man 1954 obi free menhia ate party because they wanted to contest the CPP, the original CPP omu free mu intimatim ho for no omu ye defected CPP for Matim ho for no omo ye eden ekufo ado busuafo ase UP4 and omo ti omo ho free CPP mu, because time ko fa Nkrumah free abrochire bae no na nka se Nkrumah ene den eye ekufo ado busuafo no edwene e wo sanka oni baafo akoto mu edwene e wo sanka Nkrumah hu Ghana se ye chichire te se den ye chichire se ye ti ohene. But now Nkrumah does not believe in that. Nkrumah believed in centralizing the nation, making it a unit. And it's a Otumfour kasa. You can't blame Otumfour too much, because Otumfour so too history. Because Sebio Otumfour so tea. Sebio Otumfour so ye chichire ye tete no mensia. And I will not grow up and move away from the history my father has told me. Me Otumfour dia me beto ina me nananom meja ato akonwa dem no. Me betena akonwa so entwe me hu mfiri ho. I will still stick to that even if it is not true. And so why should you blame Otumfour? Do not blame him. It is up to us to talk to the young ones, come and say, that is how this history, no, I say, and sa a yawono, any that terrible mindset, no, and then I say, Ghana, bedruha. Now let me go forward. Let me show you the reason why JJ Rawlings a coup. These are some of the reasons that JJ capture Ghana for so a coup. And if you take your time to read the reasons why JJ Rawlings a coup, you will understand the say all the things that has been said about JJ Rawlings, it is a lie, and none of them. And I Sebio in some of my catchy, no correct. J. John Rawlings' decision to lead a coup in 1979 was driven by several factors. Dissatisfaction with the military regime. Also, Rawlings was critical of the indiscipline, corruption, and mismanagement within the military regime. Now, Rawlings, the na ekosu soja abemna soja bino losing the value. Nana impenifonica says soja for to miko kro na mba hwe junsoguomo, because the hierarchy had lost its ethics, principles. The man military, it had gone away. And he was part of the military, a young officer. He saw that his life at the end of the day depended on the respect the military had at that time, or the respect the military would get at that point. Until JJ realized, say the military now civilians now made them a cry to protect them. They don't respect us. Something needs to be done. These are some of the reasons the young Rawlings and in the group decided to put some discipline in the system. 2, failure to address the poor. He believed the government had failed to address the needs of the poor and saw the coup as necessary to change the status quo. Into who say a year for nana ebre. Military crown so said there was a group almost from hotomo na nipa bi wo former omo bre ehia omo donko. So he felt the gap was too wide and he needed to bridge the gap. 3, purge corruption. Not person see corruption and no crime. Into say the aim was to purge the military and public life of corruption and restore national pride and economic stability in Ghana. Now, in any that's want to say, to trust some de enketahye ene senia edidi akọ aban mu akọ military mu ama ekuro no sebio agencies and institutions e wo se edi omodwuma obi kokra dwoma ba e wo se ye ton na ebo wo se ye ton no ohun se saa nyoma ni nyina say. So he felt to say na e wo se ye yahu bibi ketahye no na e wo se ye tu ase e ka ho na 79 JJ Rawlings showed up. It was UCC before NLM. All right, boss. Thank you. Okay, number 4.4. These are some of the reasons why JJ Rawlings a coup in Ghana. Ineffectiveness of the SMC2. The coup was a response to the perceived ineffectiveness of the Supreme Military Council SMC under General Fred Ekufu. Inti Fred Ekufu enso be ye coup na ono so ebe ye soja panyini no JJ Rawlings hu se na wo Fred Ekufu ye ne ye bodyguard to ye panyini na oye military leader no. At least we knew say they na oye nye na so wo yetuma support mo abetu eye den military leader wo no na wa be hwa dia wo ye no is basically the same as nipa na wo no a champion na oye sa de no wo Ekufu wo be hwa you are doing worse. So Rawlings felt to say, even though this was my brother that we thought to say to me a coup na so no be hwa, he's going to do things differently, no. Omo who say Ekufu ne ba and Rawlings who said no, this guy is not doing the right thing. So he needed to step in because the framework was there. When we get the opportunity, we need to work within that framework. But Ekufu so taking over, no, he also became the same like a champion, or he became like Buziamo. So he became like Kotokamo. So he realized that no, nothing is changing. What is happening? So Obinya Tumia, things happen. What is there that is changing these people? Until he decided to say, sa ineffectiveness of the SMC2, no, or say, na infasobia emba, so he decided to step in. Now, 0.5, waste of time. Rawlings saw the previous coup that brought Ekufu to power as a waste of time, since it did not bring about any significant change. Because Sana Obi close to Rawlings and Ekufu, they were basically protecting Nipana no Ayeku a champion. So they felt to say Nkrumah amudin behind the scenes, no say Ekufu nya opportunity, almost supporting Manu to Nipana Shawana. Then what they have been talking about, bridging the poverty gap, no, bridging the poor and the rich, no, bridging that gap, no, it will be sorted out. He made sure normally say Ekufu to be taken over from a champion. The institutions nana abe so corrupt, no, he could do something about it. They thought to say Ekufu take it over. Those things are not essay chrono. Ekufu will take a bold decision. And when it comes to 0.7, national pride, he aimed to give back to Ghanaians their national pride. There was nothing like you were not confident of being a Ghanaian. At that point, there was nothing happening. Nothing was going on. Say to me, then the national pride was gone. Nobody could be like, I'm a patriot. I need to protect my country. So Sojania on we take it out to say enemy. Then there is no pride in calling yourself a Ghanaian. There was nothing there to protect. So it was one of those reasons that JJ said no, he needs to bring back the national pride. He needed that patriotism. 7, economic stability. So what JJ Rawlings did was he knew that the people were struggling. There was a smaller group who were rich. The majority of Ghanaians were poor. The economy wasn't stable. No jobs, nothing. So he thought to say it was time for somebody to step in to correct the mistakes. These are some of the reasons JJ Rawlings decided to do a coup By Ghana history, you do 79 and Gina. Whatever made 79 coup happen, we don't talk about it. Because Omo Ghana history, no, their idea in said they wanted to paint the person who corrected the system. The person who wasn't part of Matemeho, the person who wasn't part of the majority of the people who didn't want Ghana to be a united Ghana. No, those people felt to say J.J. Rawlings was a problem. He was supposed to allow the people duping the people, causing the harm, forcing the corruption. Those people thought that Rawlings abedio mewu. If you say the corruption that was happening, no, those people who didn't want Ghana to be a united Gold Coast, no, they were taking advantage of the system. Omo na na sebio sika kakra obunsema na omo de suppress ehiafo. So Sankophone felt to say Rawlings has come to break the glass ceiling. Dia na omo pese besi no na omo cho letter come queen no ende die esi. Be mana ba onye matimi huni ono so a o say ompene ema obi andi obi aso. Into the obey say yen nyina should live on a normal standard scale. A hot and a Rawlings ebe a problem. 23 years.
Somehow, in the white man's country, among ourselves, years ago, when the level of social responsibility was much higher, we didn't allow pressures to build up to this extent. Somebody will be asking questions. Why is this happening? Why is this not happening? Etc., etc. But over here, when the situation becomes so corrupt, and some of us are benefiting materially, and others are suffering, I don't know whether it ends up looking as if we have special oxygen masks and we can't smell the gas on the ground, how the extent to which, you know, the cost of living that people are suffering. Now, no, let me take just a few minutes of your time on this issue. The point I'm trying to make is, when Kukumba people, as recently as a few years ago, decided to wage war on other ethnic groups, killings, etc., grabbing children by the feet, smashing their heads against trees, etc. What caused it? It was just over what we all know, some chicken affair, some fowl. If responsible people expected would you know, engage in this level of violence over a chicken, in effect, what does it mean? It means the temperature is not that stable. In other words, there's friction amongst the communities. Mibuada, am I lying? In other words, our lifestyle in relation to authority, the law, justice, etc., is being denied to the extent, whether in our traditional ways or in the orthodox, courthouses or the police station, people are feeling so deprived of justice that these things begin to pile up and pile up and pile up. Isn't it? And so with just that tiny little fowl, whatever it was, it blows up. And that's what I mean when I say, in a civilized society, you don't wait for the gas to fill up the room. You can smell it immediately. Hey, this thing is going on here. This negativity, this corrupt act, which is leading to this and that, should be dealt with. And that is what ensures the stability of a society, of a community. But when we do away with it, all kinds of things happen. when you look at the way rubbish was being thrown anywhere and everywhere, that is how, because the society is unable to police itself effectively anymore. Why waste my time? He's enjoying up there, having a good time. So why should I be expected to be a disciplined citizen, to be a patriot, to not engage in corruption? His form of corruption is to dump the rubbish by the roadside, on the motorway, or further, etc. When you have people who've been trained the way some of us have been trained, like the Nathan Quahoes, and have power, authority, to influence, to advise, and to take the advice, things of this nature wouldn't happen. But we become we don't listen anymore. We become impervious. Ladies and gentlemen, when the situation got that tight in those days, I was also scanning around. You're not what you're thinking. No, I was also scanning around for people. Oh, what's his name? Nkrumah said the beautiful ones are not yet born. I used to have a horse many years ago at the state Birmingham that I named the Bony. The beautiful ones are not yet born. But with time, I realized when I run into people like Justice Annan, etc., I knew the beautiful ones were there. It's just that the political space does not allow people of such integrity to get on the stage. We undermine them with money politics, etc. At Champong's time, for instance, I know some of our finest officers were just posted out all over the place, put over corporations so they can also go and train their hands and lose their moral authority, the ethical value. You've got to understand me standing and talking this way, or taking us back into history. I can't talk about it. I can't come to this man's function or your function without making reference to these things. So, it became very palpable, discernible. Obviously, people could see, could hear it. You're scanning through because it's like the country was leaderless. They are there all right, but you're looking for somebody you can respect. We're looking for somebody to lead us. Can you believe, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nathan Quahoe's name was in the air? I found out, like scanning around, talking to a few people here and there. Mr. Nathan Quahoe, that's the level of respect this man enjoyed. And I'll leave the rest. When we made our move, and I have to find competent people. Somebody like Justice Annan. I don't know if I ever told you how I met him. Yeah, do you want to hear it? Yeah. Okay.
We always have to take our time, pay attention to details, ask questions. The biggest problem with a Ghanaian, we are scared to ask questions. Or see busansem. When you ask those questions, they will insult you. They will say you are too known. They will say, what are you trying to do? Ask questions. Because when you ask questions, the answers at the end of the day may save your life. Tie. So busan sama anu ya obenyano ebetuma agye wo nkwa. So it's always important as young Ghanaians we ask ourselves or each other questions, especially the elderly. We need to ask them. We need to ask questions about our history. We need to sit and make sure what some people out of their selfish interest took away from us, we correct it. We have failed to correct our mistakes. We have failed to correct history. We have failed to ask questions. That is why we are struggling today. Senke Busan Sama Kekufuado can never or will never lead Ghana. Listen, if we had even asked ourselves questions, Kakufo would have never become president of this country. But we fail to ask questions. We force or we allow people to impose what they believe on us. A man for the omono eye ehi omono ene no omo de mayedi. That is why today we are living like zombies. Some people force a dance on us. They play the drum and we have to dance to their history. We are basically living in Ghana and dancing to some people's their personal selfish pride. Sanke nyabotre ne tena ase ne ekɔ ekyire ne ebusa nsɛm a kakofo ntumi di president of Ghana. The NPP as a political party anka enye ha na wo se du. That's why I say I pity the young people of Ghana. Those sitting on TV wearing suits in the universities, in the public institutions, the tertiary institutions, the junior high schools and the senior high schools. I pity you people. You are like zombies. What to say? You are scared to ask, how did we get here? We need to be asking. How do we have a president like Ekufuado? How do we have a political party like NPP? How did we get to the NDC? What are their principles? Where were they carved from? What is the ideology and mentality behind these institutions? Then we can sit and align ourselves with what will change our lives. We are aligning ourselves with institutions we don't even believe, understand, ask questions about their incarnation. We have no idea. We join things because somebody said something. What is stopping you from you asking the relevant questions? Something happened before 79. Something happened before 75. Something happened before Kwame Nkrumah's time. We need to know the facts. The facts will lead us to the right path. The fact will tell us, say, we need hospitals. The fact will tell us, say, at this stage, we need good roads. The fact will tell us we need honest leadership. We need people who are ready to serve. We wouldn't put our interest in what? In insinuations. We will sit and know the facts. When you fail to ask questions, you die early. You die easily. Now, yanya end the show no. Me catch them from the beginning. Andra.
In fact, history there eya the papa. So on mind be no se mu free mo history a anama bakwasem a e affect on mind no. In fact, ma on mind no mo yira e wo kwan so. Mo identity, mo values, mo culture. Chese mo thoughts and reasonings ni nyina e yira e wo kwan so. Enti oman bia hu hia say omunim omabakwasem because abakwasem no ene be guide wo ama baabi a wo kobia no de bia no watumi adru ana say botaye esimani so no watumi achieve. Enti ohwe aman bi te say China, Russia ne ho keka ho na de ama omoda so super power ewo wiase ene say they don't forget their past. They don't forget their history. Every day they make sure say ombe kai baby omu free. Na omo modernizing no. na aboa ama oman no etumi agina at the moment ebeba ne se nipakuo bi be hya ase se afei omo pese omo sesa oman no abakọ sempe affect oman ni nyina eti enkoma yekotie ye no mesre se yemfa yen political affiliations kasa ye ka yemfa nto nchen na yentie asem like yenhwe no kwasem a ewo asem num na emwaye as nation emwaye as a nation enye sa de bia ye betwa ye ho saa na ye twa ye ho saa no kwasem na say so wutie ensam a eye Kevin Taylor editutu ho ya bibia kire say Dr. Kwame Nkrumah no on time Asantefo there be not on time. The only problem about oni Asantefo entem the fact that na Asantefo efi say ebia omo de na omo hwehwe anase me fan say Asantefo adikanfo a na omo di omo anim me can say the leadership of the accounts at that time a na omo susu say oh ye pese ye tie ho free Ghana mu ye pese ye nsusu ye nya ye de ho a Kwame Nkrumah anti ase sorry tie no was a major problem. It was a major problem a ma Asantefo esusu say ebia na Kwame Nkrumah etan. And in the cost of Kwame Nkrumah ni rule any na governance kwanya no peso o hye Ghana sifa no there were so many things or Asante leadership no Asantefo leadership no edwene say ebia na Dr. Kwame Nkrumah etan munti na oye dia oye no but Dr. Kwame Nkrumah so no na ono na adwene mu no na opese yenya oman kronkron baako because sabi ono watena America akoko school wahun kwanya ema efa so ma America wasuo ma bako se mahu say no America the reason why they are powerful is not because they are white and I say it is not because America so but it is because of their unity, how they were able to mobilize themselves and united. Omo etumi efa one agenda so okay ye de sa na man we ni yebetu kwan we so ni yebefa na different countries so anyina te ase say oh yenka ye humum America nye one country bi mu fi say America no et say Ghana isi o there bi America ye different countries and omu nyina ka man no ebom say look let us unite ourselves. United States of America. State be a jina homa mind. State be your mind. State be a country on its own. And they have united. So it is a United States. And no maka omuwa boom abeya America. And I say USC. So it is anti asieno. Ena omu mutimi kapo mu ena ma ma hoden ye se praye wo kabo mu a ena eyeden ni buo eyeden wote ase enti no Kwame Nkrumah de sa adwen no ne ba Ghana ehun se okay Ghana ye wo vast land ye nipa ko bebre de be ma ya tumi agina ya namon so na ya ye ho ayeden ama ye nso so wiase ha ye boy din a because Ghana there is a country called Ghana na ene power so krono omo ya benfo omo so to say omo so ye can super power our world that they are part of it and say ye be kan ye ho abom enti Dr. Kwame Nkrumah adwen a no odi free abrochire e ba ye a UGCC fokofa na ba ye say ama ote ase so obeba no wo say oba be unite Ghana oba unite Africa as a whole na ne mentality no eti oba ya obehu say eya UGCC for no there be enya unity national unity no omo hwehwe obi ahwehwe ne special like ne interest omo nyina omo odwene omo kasa ho ebia ye de adwene achemfo ho ye de adwene wenim ho eno enema Dr. Kwame Nkrumah hu say there be this is I don't belong here me pe a nation that is united, a nation ye nyina ye baako we nkase me susun we nkase me susun we nkase me na me yesi we nkase me na me yesi dabi yen kan ye nyina ye mbom ne ye nipa baako en okote no ho de kote CPP no so what you see enti Dr. Kwame Nkrumah no the initial plan now of fire no no fee say or the back Ghana beboa no was to unite Ghana and now unfortunately or the beshia offense Ashantifoɔ esoso ekua na omo so ka no ho a omo so along the line omo dwen say there be ye hwe Asanteman mu a gold ne ho ade ade sika kokko e wo ho ne ho ade ade no ye ne wo sika nti say te saade a moma ye nte ye ho emfiri man Ghana mu na yeso ye nde ye ho na yeso ye offense ye so nya ye man anase ye mfa ya ye sika em build yan kasa ye man. I think that nka enya bone se nka Asantefo edi sika kokwa ewo krum ho ebe sabiu ebe ye fensen Asanteman yi ka bone bi anim sabia se ni oyam ahwenhwam de ne enchiri se ode ne nsa ye den ebom enti ka ne fe ne se ka Asanteman ka by now ye ka se kuro bi ti se oboasia enka it should be one of the beautiful towns in Ghana, but is it so? There be. And tika Asantefo no almost so much being and say, okay, Massa, ye nasa sikano dodo na wo ye asase so. Entino yenti ho nanka yentumi emphasize can build ye crew. But o man chichere so no enye sa na ye no. O man chichere enye sa na ye no. E wo say o centralize ade ni nyina na obia de kakra ono soso wo no ye de boa mani nyina ekoyie enti Dr. Kwame Nkrumah no ne ono so na adwen se odabi ewo mu se sika dodo na wa ha but mon kan mu se enyoma bi susu firi baabi e na eba na mo soso munya so emfaso wa ha enti no ye nyina yen kan hu mom na obia de kakra no ye mfa nya oman ni yi ho na mentem ho ase no e de ye den e de be set inside ena biem omo ene fensen the colonial masters no ekokeka ye we mu atro petition dia akọ ye pay independence Kwame Nkrumah say there be ye pese ye pay United Ghana ne ho ade no okay omo je United Ghana wie ye no then ne ye pedin e dia to Ghana so because ne ye fe no Gold Coast enti ye pedin dia to Ghana so then Akufo-Addo ne papa no eso tro petition ene ho ade de buy say omo no person ke ye free Gold Coast say Akan land o person ye to Gold Coast din say omo person ye to Gold Coast din Akan land and na Dr. Kwame Nkrumah so say there be Ghana sabi enya akanfo nko ana wo Ghana ye wo nkro bebre e wo Ghana ha like kasa hodo bebre e wo Ghana ha ye wo frafrafo ye wo dagatefo ye wo achemfo ye wo sesalafo ye wo konkombafo ye wo basarefo ye wo kotokolifo ye wo say mofo ye wo bonofo ye wo asantefo ye wo okuapem like different fencing fencing kasa hudo bebre e no man edosun krachi tumburu mfante like name them etino si ekase ye the word account for no ye din na ebema akoye some way bi enti yempe din a free obia side enti na Ghana no ankoye kasa obeka na say Ghana obi be kasa emikrom kasa Kwame Nkrumah didn't want Saadian because anhwa na ede yaudie bi ene ho ade akohye nipa bi mu say nti Dr. Kwame Nkrumah time no time obi o. He wanted a united Ghana because mu say young Ghana na yedi kan je independence ye tumi kan ye ho ede bomu a eno de betumi aboa ma na nya nyinaso atumi aka the whole Africa eden abom. What you say because so we say a friend saying wo no unima futu a also di kan etu safu no e wo fie sabe ubodam di fie enti sa wo na wo se wo be ka Africa nyina bo muntumi nka wo man no a wo ti so no as president muntumi nka mbo mu a How dare you so bit my catch so the whole Africa album. Ntina Kwame Nkrumah pese or to me Eddie Ghana set example. Say you Ghana had me over 40 languages. Aye net me akan ho abom say nipa ba kwa ye Ghana for. And that is what we can also do in Africa. See ye nice we kan ho bom ni nya a united Africa. Ena enti ase anya adwuma. Enti Kwame Nkrumah didn't want to use even the any name wa. Ebeba ne say obi beka say ye ne de to ye Gold Coast. Abrofun be pie a central region hono and kruna gold the wo krun so mo friend say Gold Coast. But Ghana enya ba bia na wo coast ano enya ba bia na ben nsuo Ashanti region nsuo ni ho ben ho like enda nsuo epo ano e friend saying brong half enda epo ano northern region enda epo ano nti wo ka na say Gold Coast na kwa say Mfantefo be claim ownership thinking say Krono eyomo edia anaso omu enti na yeto oman Ghana ni nyina Gold Coast so ni nyansam no wose ye pedin bi krompa emfri Ghana ha na obi anka say eye efri ha na china bi obi dia be politics. That was the good intention. And they say Emma Ghana no na or try say obe centralize no ama Ghana ye nyina atumi aka ho abom. And the problem I was saying ye with kese pan fa Asantefo ho the brong ahafola or team a free Ashanti region because at the time na nyina ye the same land and obechemu time omuchi church regions ni mu no na omuche honum ema oyi honum no a free saying Ashanti kingdom no because no a hoso no your kasa hodo na wo ho ne ho ade ade enti ni nyina generator some enmity ne ho ade ade itema Asante for no dwen say bia Kwame Nkrumah time omu but na Kwame Nkrumah time because ye need dia dance say some of the major achievement of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah ewo oye no Kumasi some of the major make me aka say ebe pom ne te wuyi ebia KJT market firi ho no mo a ana say afari fence hospital ana Sevilla hospital wuyi sa eno no firi ho no a the major achievement I wo Ashanti region Dr. Kwame Nkrumah ene what you say ne wuyi Legon firi ho the biggest fence university KNUST Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and the kusi ho what you say uyi ebia fencing kolebu edifri ho a ebia you mention of fencing Konfanoche hospital what you say enya hospital kitwa what you say hwe fencing leather factory na Kumasi. There were so many factories in Kumasi just that bibi baba so no motonton bi because of say na omantimi Ghana yentimi anhwe so yi a intra what you say enti Dr. Kwame Nkrumah so many things in Kumasi betumi boost Kumasi and Ashanti region enti obi catch say Dr. Kwame Nkrumah no all time and fencing Ashanti for enya no kre because onu ankasa ni kura no ofri so onu ankasa Dr. Kwame Nkrumah na region na ofri so university ben okosisi ho western region enya Professor Mills ene ba oye university ma western region for Professor Mills ene ba ye oni John Mahama e ba ye ene omu dwene ho se o yenko ye university ema western region hospital papa ben international hospital papa ben na national hospital papa ben and yesin was a western region and so ho no ofri enzima mu ho dia na Dr. Kwame Nkrumah de konzima enti no sa wodwen sa Dr. Kwame Nkrumah no ta Asantefo no ta Asantefo na hwan no odo se na Dr. Kwame Nkrumah ta Asantefo enti da time eye Nkrumah so nzemafo nti nzemafo so nka say na Dr. Kwame Nkrumah time because wa mre university wa mre hospital wa mre ebia FN saying factory like how do we like yan kind of saying what you say enti Dr. Kwame Nkrumah no eye adwempa ena na owo in fact Ghana oko bi eni ehwa de ade ye wo adan bi sisi won ko Kintampo waterfalls ye wo adan wo hono mu a Dr. Kwame Nkrumah eni besi ye oko atebubu Kwame danso kejeji ehwa de ade ye wo efen sen dan efen sen sa access net houses in Kentucky ibi akwese bungalows Dr. Kwame Nkrumah na sisi ye ni nyina na opese ototo nsase adan digu baabi ama obi atumi nya baabi partner ni nyina no na ya adwen papa anya adwen money. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah had good intentions anya bone na ewo ni tirim anya bone but ebinumu ante na se what you say ebinumu ante Dr. Kwame Nkrumah se thinking say na ebia otan omo sabi obi a ebeka so otan obi ene ebia Akufo-Addo omanpenyini Akufo-Addo ne yebetumi aka say omanpenyini Akufo-Addo etan asantefo menyina so ne sen menyina fo no say so ontan asantefo a obi a wo Ashanti region for ne ma obi di president wa be president of the Republic of Ghana for 8 years ye bisa wo say die mpa no watumi ayama asantefo a untumi nka original chairman original minister ye bisa no say almost just 10 achievement of wo ewo Ashanti region ontumi mo ne nyoma oboye no was nyoma empo John Mahama airport or say airport no John Mahama ena eye phase 1 epe phase 2 no kra ho sika edeto ho enti airport no oboy sa na asem of afin okobo efensen children's award efensen konfanochi wonim say efensen founded by Mame Rebecca eno no o solicite for fans ene de koye sa ade no enya ban sika but oboka ho in fact ne nyoma obo nyina no utumi say enya nyoma bia but wantimi ammo and do 5 President Akufo-Addo kotena Ashanti region ekotena radio so me bisa na say kwaberefo say wo omo na to abakese pa over 90 something thousand de ma wo na makwan say I poto one to more this time they will not vote or so masa amon for masa monko ade me so so mon to aba ma me kokromoti so bia dia ade omo ko to aba me na me so mon sa kokromoti nduku ekutim so ma me sa anyoma na ehuna me o kan kwase asam na to no be omo enso me no ka say ufri Accra ako chebi asphalt ultra suhum na o branche edi akofa chebi sa road no so akọ asphalt sa di ko wura chebi asa chebi krum wura chebi krum a kro ni nyina ya asphalt so uye no to nchen a kro ni nyina free wifi baby a wonam ya unya wifi free o ya brochire ya dan na brochire chebi omo ye nipa do send go sabi me enye kasetia anasa animtia bi na me bu but chebi vote do sen e na omo de bre MPP for vote do sen e na chebi man e de bre MPP for but me no ka say chebi asphalted roads free wifi everywhere you go me say almost cemetery okra to one kra cemetery o to okra unya wifi ya develop chebi ndeko ahimfie efe say ochehene ahimfie wo be dwane o ti ase na Ashanti region omo hospital crampo say Konfanochi hospital be jasi ho me say Konfanochi at efe say Dr. Kwame Nkrumah hospital crampo be CDC ho no Kurampon say ya o man penyi di nani ehwe 8 years no ko 8 years ontumi me ohene Otumfour na nkasa na bodwa abetena badwam esre seye lalansulala so omoma ni sika no mfanko omoma ni sika mpo a okwakofa enyoma ba edi abaye nukwa ni nyoma no be ka habo onya sika emfa ngimba ni nyoma no be ka habo what you say omon ye kan say o chira santefo ompa santefo asem akufu ado ne ebetumi aka say o chira santefo ompa santefo asem enya Dr. Kwame Nkrumah obi a wodi school so obi twene ho say wodi school university at that age at that time the school wan fan ko ni krom yeti krom ha yenyina ye nimba bia sebe ye nimba bia Ghana ha movie ya kasa omu babi omu ye movie ya hwan mu na ye movie echan asanteman hwan mu na ye movie echan asanteman akufu ado so oba ba ye fence movie house o say movie de ben okoye na hefa no okoye si chebi man so obi a ye nim say Ghana ha uyi the glamour movies ni firi honma Ashanti region ne Kumawood na save Ghana movie for so long from 2006 2007 8 oba Kumawood ne save Ghana movies what you see even up till now the movies are share Kumawood ne kuta Ghana ejiji eni kakaka Dr. Like Mune Lewen mo omo ne kuta Ghana what you see but e ba na say o man penyini so opeso okoye fence movie fence theater or movie village fence oh I forgotten how our friend cry film village okoye film village ehemfa no so okoye no chebi and okoye film village uja sante mind to ho what you say omoni e friend say ota sante fo Otumfour hunu wei na obi a wabra wo school wan fan ko no ni krom wabra one of the biggest hospitals in Ghana wan fan ko no ni krom wabra school wabra hospital wabra factories enya atamos time no more revamp fence Kumasi shoe factory enya fence enya Kwame Nkrumah ade omugunu Kwame atamos baye ena obeye den obe revampo ye leather factory no why na ye enya Kwame Nkrumah odini nyina ba ukrom wanfa nko no ni krom nzema such a person ye can so on pay asem all because o person wote ho no was there bi enkan humbo you mo tsesa Ghana abakosem na emwayen abusiafo emwayen omanpe efense Otumfour emwayen upobi a wotan asantefo a MPP asenso buachi oye MPP efense oye bantoma MP okotenas yesi omo MPP achievement want me am 5 mpo wait no a deputy chief of staff there no mo dia ba Ashanti region ho and now mo ba ho no mo a there no mutimi de kire so man ya ma Ashanti region 8 years mo na mo mba power Asante mine ma MPP ba power adenti no mutimi kire de omo ye no ho na nti wo ka say Dr. Kwame Nkrumah no mumo di school eba be bie nipa ni or the school ye can school secondary schools or ye no ho any offense universities hospitals there na chen we wan fan ko ni kurum mo so onu mumu tan Asante for no we should know how to do some things. Rewriting the history of this country. We should rewrite the history of this country. And that's a MYN Ghana for MYN. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah had good intentions for Ghana. For selfish people who were thinking for themselves, people who wanted things for their own good, and yet on mining na enne. Ahimfo ohini muwa na obetena ho ka say Kwame Nkrumah no obi anim say ompe masem ompe ya asem ompe Asantefo asem Kwame me ye obi a sebe me ka Oman Otumfour team ho a ka betumfo se sa asem no betwe nsan no mpacho because asem a like ekuta weight na ebedidi ni patirim ache enye hatsem papa because Kwame Nkrumah is not the type of person we can say no tan Ashantifour na Ashantifour kana ban ho. In fact sa FN saying NLM phone come ti om ho matem ho phone krampo no mo fi ne CPP nim and omo de ti om ho, all because of their selfish interest. And I think that said the medical can Ghana for mpanyfo a mo bro 60 ye be sere mo se mo so mo de madwen kire beba na ya publish it and your voice notes ever send your WhatsApp so 0277128777 ye be publish am Ghana for ultimate. In fact the unim fa ho history bi na unim uhu ye wudi wani hu bi woti bi wo ho bi ka Emma Ghana for ye use social media and rewriting the history of Ghana. Aha PENDREAM TV. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. No one like video no. Edi ama o like ya ebo ama video no ko achiri pa ama afoforo susu etumi nya bi. Ehwe video etesan mes patch o platform bi aso a fato na encourage amanfo so omo so hwe na ye nyina mfa nsua de ebra so se wase ye nyina yesua de na ebo a ma yetumi.
Ma never say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo